Hey guys, Wrinkled Runner here. Today I'm going to be recapping the Buffalo Marathon. So this is my first marathon. I was really nervous the whole week before, not just the day before. But I was also really excited. I couldn't wait for the day to arrive. So I actually took melatonin 2 days before so that I could sleep because I didn't think I was going to get much sleep the night before. So I wrote down everything that I needed in my phone, and all day I was putting my fuel in my belt and laying out my clothes, checking on the weather to make sure that those clothing choices were something that was going to work. We had to go to packet pickup, and so I had a list in my phone of all the different things I needed to do there, like take your ID, and you had to know your bib number because that's actually how they found you instead of last name. And we also were able to see the Buffalo Stampede while we were there, which was fun. It was a dog race with their owners to benefit the Buffalo Canine Department. And so we were able to watch that, and I took some video of that. We had a good dinner. I got a rice bowl for my carbs instead of pasta. I didn't want to eat too much. Carbs had been not really good for me the past few days, and so I did carb load, but I did much lower than what the recommended for my weight was, and my stomach felt a lot better by reducing the load a bit. So I set my alarm for 3:30 a.m. so that I could eat my bagel, and that was 3 hours before the marathon. The Buffalo Marathon starts at 6:30 a.m. and I was up 3:30, was going to go back to sleep, but instead I was too excited and got dressed, and by 4:15 a.m. I was all ready to go. So we left the condo at about 5:30, and the other benefit to running the Buffalo Marathon for me is it's less than a mile away. So we were able to just jog up there, get a nice warm-up going, and be there within about 10 minutes. It was already 65 degrees, so I was wearing shorts and a tank top, and throughout the whole marathon I was very happy that I did. I saw other people running in some clothes that I would not be happy with because I think they were probably way too warm. So for the first half of the marathon, my strategy was to take my husband with me, and so he ran the Buffalo half, and his job was to hold me back so that I didn't go out too fast. I actually used a racing strategy put out by Runners Connect, and I will link down below the calculator that you can use to enter the time that you would like to finish a marathon, and it will tell you based on the mileage what your paces should be. So miles 1 to 3 is a certain pace, miles 4 to 13 is a certain pace, and so on. And so I followed that strategy, and he helped me to stay back and follow that strategy. And it was working really good. The first half of the marathon was so enjoyable because we were doing it slowly. Even though people were passing us, we knew that at the end, hopefully I would be passing them. And so I started about 45 minutes in to take my fuel. And because I didn't eat as many carbs as I thought I should have the week before, I ate a block and a half of the Clif Bloks for the fuel, and got a stomach ache like within 20 minutes. And so I went back to my fuel strategy that I had practiced, which was using the Noka superfood pouches, gummy bears, and the Clif Bloks. And once I backed off on that, things were back to normal again, and my stomach didn't hurt anymore. So for the first half, we had a gorgeous run through Buffalo neighborhood. We were over by the waterfront. We actually ran right in front of our condo. but we were able to see some of our neighbors as we were running by, and then it was close to finishing the half marathon. And there's a point where the half marathon keeps going straight to the finish, and then the marathon cuts off. And so my husband and I were getting pretty emotional at that point. I was dreading having to do another 13 miles all by myself, but he just shouted and encouraged me, and I went off on my way. So I stayed with the 4:20 pacer because that was my goal. I wanted to finish in less than 5 hours. My real goal was 4:30, but my secret real goal was 4:20. And so I stayed with that pacer for quite a while and felt really, really good. And I was fueling correctly. I was getting water at the stations. I had my homemade sports drink, which I'll link down below to the post on that. And about 20 miles in, I decided that I felt so good that I was going to break away from the 4:20 and just hit it and see as fast as I could go. And I started passing people that were having to walk, passing people that had been passing us way back in the first 3 miles, and I felt really good. So I think that the strategy worked beautifully, and I can't wait to run another marathon, and I will be using that strategy again. My husband was able to go back to the condo, shower, and be back on the course, and was able to pop up and surprise me throughout the whole thing. And that gave me just an added shot of adrenaline. And the community was wonderful. Homeowners were out there with sprinklers and bowls of oranges, and they had their own water stations for us in addition to the ones that were put on by the Buffalo race directors. And so it was just a wonderful community experience. And finally, I turned the corner, and the finish line was right there. And I finished in 4 hours, 14 minutes, and 51 seconds. So I was very happy because that was even 6 minutes faster than my goal, my secret goal. So all in all, I would say that that was one of the highlights of probably my life, and I can't wait to run another one.